Hi everybody, Alan with headphonereviewhq.com, and today I'm going to be bringing you a review of the Audio-Technica ANC9 active noise cancelling headphones. As you can see, I just got the ANC7Bs out of the way, so you've probably already seen that, and if you haven't, you should go check that one out too. Got this, and then of course we're going to do the shootout at the end between that, the Bose, and the ANC7s. So let's go ahead and get started on the ANC9s. So let's talk about the build quality and the fit and finish on the ANC9s. They're extremely comfortable headphones. The headband is very soft, they're lightweight, they're not too clampy, but they do clamp down enough to hold them on your head properly. The ear pads have memory foam in them and with a very soft leatherette cover on them. So these actually don't get as warm, and they're slightly more comfortable than the ones even on the ANC7s, even though the ANC7Bs, even though they look pretty much identical. So as you can see, the headband snaps in place. It stays very well. It'll go from a very small noggin to a very large one. And again, the clamping pressure, even you can see there's a pretty big gap around my head, but the clamping is enough to hold it in place there. And if you have it down at the right size, then it's perfect. It's just enough pressure. This also has removable cable. Plugs in down at the bottom. Again, it's not really a proprietary thing, just if you get a cable, you need one that's got a small casing on it so that it will fit in that hole. And this does come with another one that's also one for controlling an iPhone and taking phone calls, which by the way does a fantastic job. I've had that plugged up while I was listening to music and taking phone calls, and the sound quality both to the person that's speaking and for what you're hearing is fantastic. Like, they can't tell that you're not just speaking through the phone, so kudos to them for doing that. It's one of the better ones I've used. And also a note, for anybody that's looking for the ANC7, that same cable will work on the ANC7Bs. Tried that out as well. Works great. I don't know where you can buy the cable. That's the only problem. So I'll have to try and get in touch with Audio-Technica to find out about that. Okay, so going on with the features of the ANC9s, your noise cancellation you turn on here with a switch, and then depending on the color of the light up here is the type of noise cancellation you get. So if you're on blue, that's made for airplanes. That is supposed to cancel 95% of the noise at 200 hertz. Which is similar to what the engine or the ambient noise in an airplane is. Then if you hit this again, you push that button, you go to the red, and in the red, that's supposed to cancel 95% at 300 hertz, which is more of what you would get in an office, just random ambient noise in an office. And then on the green, this is supposed to be for a library or a study type environment where it's fairly quiet anyway, so you're just trying to cut out the rest of the noise. So those are your three different levels, and again, it's all done with the push of a button. Now I will say, when you're wearing these and you push that button, the noise canceling turns off completely, and then it kind of phases back in. So it's kind of a weird effect, but you know, nothing to make or break it. It's just something to be aware of. Your microphones for the noise cancellation are on the outside here. And actually, I think it's got several, yeah. So that's one of the big deals with the ANC9s is they don't just have one on each ear pad like the ANC7s. On these, you have one at the bottom of each ear pad, and then you've also got them at the top as well. So they've got microphones pretty much everywhere to help cancel out noise. So the build, that's pretty interesting. It's neat how they do it. Now another difference is on the other one where you slide it open here, this has a little clip on the right ear pad that you push together there, and then it slides out, and that's where your battery is for replacing, and then it just clips right back into place. So that is the build quality. Now again, on these, much like the other sets of noise canceling that I've reviewed, overall the fit and finish on it's very good, and it does click into place nice and all that, and the features of it are very nice. But to make these lightweight, they do feel like if you gave them much pressure on twisting the head cups, like you turn it the wrong way or something, and rather than stopping when you feel that pressure, you kept going, it feels like these would just completely snap. So again, you need to be very careful with these. These are not made for the rugged person who throws it in their backpack or just in a bag and goes. These come with a fairly significant carrying case, and again, they have a little space in there to where these things fit in there perfectly. I highly suggest, if you get a set of these, that you use that carrying case. It will keep them protected and in good working order for a long time. If you don't take care of these, they will not last that long because they're not made like tanks by any means. All right, so let's talk about the bass on the ANC9s. These things will blow your mind how good they are in the bass. Now, out of the box, they are decently boosted above natural settings, but they're still accurate, they're punchy, all the notes are distinguishable, they're clean, they're clear. And the thing is, they sound great with pretty much everything. Now, they do have quite a bit more bass than what even the ANC7s do, and they can handle more. They have a deeper sub bass and they go down further in the extension on the bass notes. Into the mid-range, I did notice these to be a touch recessed, but nothing major, and I think a lot of that had to do with just how powerful the bass is. But overall, I listened to several vocalists, oh wow, Alison Krauss, Lorena McKennitt, Michael Bublé, Josh Groban, the same kind of stuff that I'm rotating all these things through, and they sound very nice. And as a matter of fact, just listening at pretty much any volume, they sound great, low to loud. The treble, I feel that these are even a touch more articulate than the ANC7Bs, which isn't surprising. They're a more expensive, nice set of headphones. These sound great. All the subtle nuances of the music were there. I mean, these literally can be considered audiophile grade headphones, especially in the noise canceling realm. The details and the textures and the high notes and the upper mid range are just fantastic. You hear the little movements on stringed instruments. You hear the air in people's breath. It's really a fantastic sound. I actually saw somebody else do a review on them, said that they felt the mid range just wasn't there, and that kind of shocks me because it is a touch recessed, but I prefer that over too forward in most cases because they just become, I don't know, the sound becomes way too unbalanced for me when it's too forward, but that's just my personal preference. So if you want to compare them to something, if you've had a chance to listen to the M50s, they're very close, maybe a touch more recessed than those, but again, I think that's just because the bass is so powerful. So the overall sound quality of the ANC9s, I've got to say, is absolutely outstanding. These are definitely an audiophile grade type sounding set of headphones. My only complaint would be whatsoever is that the bass is just too far forward out of the box, but I mean, if you EQ that down, if that's not your thing, then you'll get a wonderful sound out of these. These work for every genre out there. I don't care what it is, hip hop, rap, country, vocalist, classical, these do the job. The bass, the mid-range, and the treble is just so well done that you get all those subtle details without ever becoming fatiguing or harsh or anything. So, oh, another thing about the sound, and this is one thing that I really liked about these, even at low levels, everything was very clear. With the ANC7s, I mentioned, or the ANC7Bs, I mentioned that at the lower levels, they sounded kind of veiled, like they were behind something, and as soon as you got up into the lower moderate, then they opened up. These are good from extremely low volumes all the way up to just blisteringly loud. So again, just throughout the entire sound range, these sound wonderful. So great listening set of headphones. So let's get into the noise leakage. Again, I don't understand it, but these leak quite a bit of noise as well. Did a little bit of Busta Rhymes and Janet Jackson. What's it gonna be? So here I'm listening to moderate, a little bit louder, great bass. So you can hear the microphone's about 4 feet from me. You get sound leakage. So if you were using these for noise cancellation and you're in an environment just where you're trying to get rid of the noise, fine, crank it up. if you are sitting next to somebody on an airplane or on a bus or on a train or anything like that, then you probably want to tone it back down and, you know, not disturb everybody around you when you're just trying to keep them from disturbing you. So there you go. All right, so what I'm about to do is I've loaded up a couple things on YouTube here. One that's ambient airplane noise and the other one's office noise. And I'm going to try these out on the various different settings and let you know what I hear. So let's start off on blue, which is where I'm at right now, and that's set for an airplane environment. So assuming that this, you know, is what it is, which is what I remember airplanes sounding like, then this should cut out quite a bit of the noise. And I'm doing this at the same exact levels. I haven't touched the volume knob since I did the ANC7B review. So this is the same exact setting. Okay, so now I've got this on. And with the blue setting, it's definitely a difference from the ANC7s, 7Bs, but I can still hear like a higher pitched rushing water type sound now. Now I'm going to switch to the office environment. And it's almost the same type thing. It's cut a lot of the low, out, and it's more like now. And now I'm going to go to the library. Now with the library, I could definitely hear more of it. So it's definitely doing things at different frequencies to try and get rid of the noise. And go back to the airplane. So the airplane one's pretty good. The thing is now it sounds like there's a higher pitch static. So, but it does cut the noise quite a bit. Okay, so now I've got that same song playing at a very low level in the background so that it's not just me sitting here focusing on that. And I could still hear it, but if you're just listening to the music, it kind of disappears. So it does a pretty good job. I mean, that's pretty loud when I take these off, and it's definitely just a whisper type now. All right, now we're going to do the office sounds. All right, so right now I've got it on the blue setting, which is made for an airplane, but it's cut out the hum completely, but I can still hear the typing, I can hear the printer and all that pretty clearly. So now I'm going to move up to the office. It seems like the typing's a touch fainter and still can't hear the hum at all. So it's definitely different. It's hard to completely quantify what it is, but there's a subtle change there. It seems like it might be a touch fainter. Alright, so now the library setting, literally, the library setting just faintly, barely does anything. It's definitely not nearly as aggressive as the other two. Alright, so I've got it on office mode and I've got this playing very low. No lie, I can barely hear anything going on now, and I've got this turned pretty low. Now if I turn it down all the way, I can hear the printer doing its thing and I can hear all that, but if I turn it up just a touch, that disappears. So these are very effective for that. And I say do the low level as well, simply because, like I said, if you're on an airplane or in an office environment, you don't necessarily want everybody hearing what you're listening to. So in that regard, if you play this even at very low levels and there's quite a bit of noise going on around you, it'll just kind of melt off into the background. So very good at that, extremely good at that. Another thing I want to mention is, again, much like with the ANC7Bs, if for whatever reason your battery dies and you're out and about, you're listening to a podcast, you're listening to some music just to get your mind off things, these still play. It's fantastic. I love that. I love the fact that the battery doesn't kill your ability to not listen. You lose your bass and you lose a little bit of the lower mid-range bass, but otherwise, I mean, you still get a pretty decent sound out of them. They still, like I said with the others, they still sound better than some headphones that you go out and buy off the shelf anyway. So in that regard, fantastic feature. I love that. It just becomes a passive speaker at that point. Alright, so wrapping up on the Audio-Technica ANC9 active noise canceling headphones. Overall, I have to say I love these headphones. The active noise canceling in them is very good. You have 3 levels, so you pretty much tailor it to whatever your environment dictates. The sound quality in these is by far the best I've heard in any active noise canceling headphone so far. You can listen to them with any particular genre. You get audiophile grade sound out of these. I mean, they really are a great set of headphones. So then the real question boils down to, are they worth 2 times the amount of the ANC7Bs? It depends on you. If you want better noise cancellation, yes. If you want slightly better sound quality, more bass, and maybe a little bit more resolution in the treble, then yes. And it does come with the extra cable for your iPhone. I mean, that's not worth 2 times as much, but it does come with that. Overall, though, I have to say, I mean, these are a fantastic set of headphones. If I were looking to get a set of active noise canceling headphones, and I was willing to go up to that price range, which is the same as it's the same exact price as the Bose QC15s, these would be the ones I get. I love the way they sound. I love the way they feel. They're a very well done set of headphones. Minus the how brittle they feel, like if you were to accidentally push them too hard. Other than that, I gotta say that these really are a very high quality set of headphones, and I can definitely recommend them. This has been Alan with HeadphoneReviewHQ.com. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Audio-Technica ANC9 active noise canceling headphones. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please do leave them in the comment field below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Also, if you found this review helpful, please leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, if you do plan on buying a set of these, or you're looking at other sets of active noise canceling headphones, please use my link in the description to go check them out. That helps me bring you more and more reviews over time. As you can see, I've got a lot lined up for you, and I'd love to bring even more. So please do use my links in the description. And also, check me out on Facebook. I've been updating that more frequently. You can find me at facebook.com/headphonereviewhq. And then at Twitter, you can find me at HeadphoneHQ. Yeah, the names aren't long enough, so what are you going to do? Please do share me with your friends, family, co-workers, all that kind of stuff. And I'll be bringing you more reviews in the very near future. Thanks.